Throughout the past century, headphone technology has made many notable advances. In today's world, headphones have become so commonplace, it's hard to imagine what a game changer would look like. Until now. The origin of headphones date back to 1880, and in fact have nothing to do with music.
Telephone operators were the first to utilize headphone technology, literally hearing into the future.
15 years later, they moved into the consumer market with the launch of the Electrophone system.
Britain's elite would pay a nominal fee, say threepence or sixpence via wire transfer, to listen to live opera piped direct from London's theatres. The bourgeoisie would throw listening parties, eating hard-boiled eggs and snuff sandwiches.
Pretty remarkable, considering it was the first subscriber-based music platform.
Eventually, bootleggers started making their own homemade electrophones, which led to a lawsuit by one of the most famous opera singers of that time, Sir Lars von Hetfield.
It was Sir Lars van Hetfield that threw a curveball into this newly developed technology. He felt as if people were stealing his operas, which in fact they were.
It became known as the Wild West of the southeast of England, as every bootlegging ne'er-do-well from Reading to Romford enjoyed contraband opera.
Fortunately for Sir Lars, in 1910 he won the lawsuit, causing the eventual demise of the Electrophone system.
Back in the United States during the Roaring '20s, headphones became a household name. A primitive version was developed using aluminum cans and a length of string.
The speakers are connected by copper-infused twine, and the aluminum picks up radio waves.
The whole country was in pretty high spirits. The Great War ended, the economy was booming, and headphones were flying off the shelves like f***ing hotcakes. Coincidentally, it's where we get the phrase, like f***ing hotcakes.
But just as quickly as this new fad had come, it had gone when the Great Depression hit.
Americans had shifted focus. Instead of asking, what am I gonna drink tonight? They were now asking, what are we gonna eat tomorrow? But in fact, they were still asking, what are we gonna drink tonight? Because the Great Depression created a lot of alcoholics.
Soups became increasingly trendy, even to go so far as to be called the craft beer of the 30s, but the supply could not keep up with the demand.
Until one day, John Chicken Noodle Campbell made a revolutionary discovery whilst perusing the help wanted section of the New Jersey Times, which at that point was just a blank page.
He simply flipped his dusty old headphones upright and thought, hey, I could put soup in these.
It was wildly successful. He was even credited with feeding the entire nation in the 1930s. Even though the goon couldn't even lift up a soup spoon to save his life.
And to this day, you can walk into any supermarket and still find soup packaged in old aluminum headphones.
What Campbell did may have revolutionized the soup market, but it spelled utter doom for the fledgling headphone industry.
Fast forward to the late 1960s. Just when it seemed like the end for headphones, a little baby company called Orange Amplifiers was being hatched into the world just inside the outskirts of London, England.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas.
We are the masters of our fate.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
Fool me once.
We are the ones we've been waiting for.
Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The founder of Orange Amplifiers, Clifford Cooper, created the company in 1968 to develop, and I quote, the last pair of f***ing headphones you'll ever buy.
In order to fund the venture that he dubbed Project O, he designed and manufactured guitar amplifiers, then sold them door to door.
Now, this was in the midst of the British invasion, so it was pretty easy to get these amplifiers sold because everybody from bankers to bobbies wanted to be in a rock band.
Right off the bat, this became an unintentionally successful business venture.
But Cliff was still determined to complete his original purpose of Project O.
For years, Orange amplifiers flew off the shelves like f***ing hotcakes into concert halls, teenagers' bedrooms, and everywhere in between. And that is where we get the phrase, like f***ing hotcakes.
Once artists like Jimmy Page and Geddy Lee started using our amps, we couldn't keep up with the demand. It was a global phenomenon.
Orange profits couldn't have been higher, but Cliff just kept pouring portions of the revenue into Project O. They were working day and night, tirelessly.
After 10 years and countless prototypes, Clifford was still dissatisfied with the results.
The 20-year mark came, still not to his standards.
30, 40, 50 years go by.
At this point, Orange was a hugely successful amplifier company.
Finally, in 2015, he has a breakthrough.
Cliff emerges joyfully from his lab and shouts, "I've done it!"
But he forgot his lab was in the middle of nowhere. So he took a cab to the nearest pub, strode bravely through the door, and once again yelled, "I've done it!"
And magically, by pure happenstance, his whole staff was there. They proudly lifted their pints in the air, singing old London pub tunes.
We all drunkenly chanted with vigor and pride to celebrate what Cliff had done. Then we all stopped and asked, "Wait, what did you do, Cliff?" And he says, "One more song and I'll show you." We get back, stumble into the lab, and Cliff finally reveals to us his accomplishment, the completion of Project O.
After decades of troubleshooting, the world will finally get Orange O Edition headphones.
And we get to test out the prototypes. There are only 5 sets of these in the world right now.
Detachable jack.
A game changer.
Holy, these sound like f***ing hotcakes!
Yes! Definitely worth the wait!
Can I keep these? No. What? I'm sorry. I was just wondering if there was any way that